ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binaries of all ages, welcome to How to Make a Literal Cat in Your Favorite RPG. I hope you're not here to learn how to do character creation the right way, because this is the Cat Creation Podcast, where we make cats instead of doing it the right way. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Joel.
I'm another one of your hosts. My name's Avalon.
Hello, Avalon. How are you on this Tuesday afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good on this Tuesday afternoon. How are you doing?
I guess technically it's evening, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, anything afternoon is still afternoon, but the evening classification is there, you know.
I mean, technically it's afternoon from yesterday, even if it's in the morning. If we're just saying things don't mean anything.
I'm not saying anything means nothing or nothing means anything. I'm just saying it's afternoon, you know? But you're right, it is closer to what people would consider evening.
But enough about that. I guess things are good, is the point.
That's good, you know? Great way to be.
Yeah, I thought so anyway. So, this episode, I think we said last time that we came to the realization that we had never celebrated either Valentine's Day or Black History Month in February before.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna try and do that now.
You heard the last episode.
Yep, you heard the Valentine's episode, so now it's the Black History Month one. And so we had a few snags. I failed to consider that the best RPG for Black History was one that we'd already done. I had failed to secure a guest who would be appropriate, knowledgeable, what have you, for Black History Month. So we are doing what we can, I guess. And what we can do right now, what we have the ability to do, is highlight a game by a Black game designer, and that game is Tidebreaker by Nick Butler.
Yeah. So we're gonna take this time to highlight this work. I've never seen this. I scrolled through the book a little bit, though, just to kind of see what we were working with. It looks pretty neat.
It's pretty sick, honestly.
I do dig the art in this book, so.
Yeah, good job, artists. One moment, I gotta scroll back up to the top of the book.
We love all our artists out there. All our real artists, none of that AI shit.
We got a lot of artists here. We got David Joyce, Metallica. Page 4 of the book, guys. Just read page 4 of the book. There's all the artists there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Something about the game? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So I remember when this was like being kickstarted back in 2020, I want to say.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was being published by Smunchy Games, who also did Parslings, if you remember that one.
Yep.
I was looking earlier to try and find stuff for this game, and guys, I don't know that they still exist.
Smunchy Games?
Yeah, I couldn't find any information about them. Their website seems to be down. The Tidebreaker RPG website seems to be down. It was honestly kind of a challenge to find the character sheet. I ended up having to, save it out of the back of the book.
Whack. I mean, I guess that's one good way to get it.
I mean, it's there, to its credit. So the game is still playable. It's just, 5 years is a long time for things to sit, and things happen in the meantime. And so, it was kind of a challenge to get the pieces. But I still think, because I thought this at the time, because I backed it, so I believed in it then, obviously. I thought this at the time, and I think it now, that this is probably a game that's worth your attention. It is kind of another generic system like Genesis, Fate, GURPS, I guess.
Yeah, GURPS would make sense.
But anyway, let's just get into it.
All right, cool.
I guess before we start, we should do the traditional reading of our rules. The rules that supersede the game's rules, the rules that we use to stay on target, on brand, and of course, on cats, because we're making a cat. Rule number 1 of our rules is actually just, we're making a cat. We accept no cop-outs. We're doing the exact animal that comes to mind when I say the word cat. No anthropomorphic races, no people turned into cats, no lions, no tigers, no other cop-outs you could imagine.
Rule number 2 is we cannot use homebrew/house rules. The rules in the rule book don't explicitly allow something to happen. We count it as a rule broken. So, for instance, you're not able to play as a cat. Pretty common rule we run into. Yeah, that.
Rule number 3, if the game includes stats for a literal cat, those must be used or adapted to the game's character sheet. I don't think that's a thing here. It usually isn't. We include it just in case.
Yep. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Rule number 4 is the character, class, background, playbook, job, what have you, must exist in the game's core rules or as part of an official expansion. We can't use homebrew classes along with the homebrew rules and stuff because they're fake. They're made up.
Yeah. Rule number 5, the cat can learn any skill available to its class, even if it's not something a cat could normally be trained to do. As long as it's hypothetically, physically possible for a cat to do something, they can be trained on it.
Can a cat become the world's greatest pianist? We'll find out.
Hypothetically, you'd just have to train it to play the piano the same way you'd train that one Muppet, Rolf, the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure we could get, if you got a kitten, I think within a few years, you could probably have the next Beethoven on your hands.
Exactly.
But you wouldn't have the next Mario on your hands because cats can't be plumbers. Which leads us into rule number 6. If a tool would be physically impossible for a literal cat to use, even if comically downsized for them, they cannot use it.
Yep. So, you can hypothetically train a cat to plumb, but you can't make a cat use plumber's tools.
Mm-hmm.
So, a cat would have a hard time being a plumber without the ability to work that pipe wrench, or what have you. Rule number 7, if a character sheet has a section that is meant to be filled out in collaboration with the whole table, we leave that blank so potential players can make it fit the group that they're playing with.
Don't run into that a ton, but, it's there sometimes. And finally, rule number 8 is we have to keep track of every rule that we break. Hopefully it's not a crazy amount.
It usually isn't in these generic systems. That's usually why we pass them over for the games that get made on the generic systems. But I only found evidence that one game was being developed on top of this, and it's by a studio that no longer exists. So...
Oh, interesting.
It was Smunchy Games. They were working on a game to put on top of this.
Ah, I see. Just stack them up.
I mean, kind of like how the Dresden Files was built on top of Fate, or how, I'm trying to think of another Fate RPG now. Or like how Monster of the Week was built powered by the Apocalypse world.
Yeah. No, I get you. I was just being a little goof.
I got you.
Being a little silly guy.
Having some jokes. I get you.
Alright, well, enough jokes. It's time to get serious for about 2 seconds. Are you ready to play Tiebreaker or create a character, create a cat? You ready to do our thing, Joel?
Yep, and the 2 seconds are up because the page that we start on in the PDF is page 69.
Hell yeah! This game is already a 10 out of 10. What do you mean?
If you're following along in the physical copy, the rules start on page 68. If you're following along in the PDF that you picked up off itch.io, which is what I've got right here, then it is on page 69.
We love that.
So this kind of has us jump straight in. It says concept first. So I guess we got to make our concept.
Yeah. Let's see what it says here. Characters in Tiebreaker are legendary. They stride forward and alter the world and landscape around them. They are the tip of the spear, driving deep into the heart of the world's issues. Whether they are on the front lines of a massive war or deep in the political arena, your characters have the power to reshape their world no matter where the conflict may arise.
All right, next page we got, okay, so what defines a character? Now that you've got your concept. Oh, whoops, we should go back and finish that part. I guess our concept, as per usual, is literal cat.
Literal cat, yeah. But it's this very broad concept.
Now, you did bring this up earlier. Do we want to make a cat who will become the next Beethoven?
Yes.
Nice. This will be our second cat that can use a keyboard and or piano. Alright, anyway, so back to where we were before. What defines a character? You've got your concept done, and you're thinking, now what? It boils down to these steps. Make a cool goal and concept. Well, we have a goal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need to roll our stats, pick our quirks, and then finally our abilities. So making goals. Pick an existing issue and describe how it affects your character. Okay, so I guess the goals have to be more along the lines of like, this is a problem that we want to solve. So I think we can still have a cat who is like a piano prodigy, but their goal is not to become the next Beethoven. It's to become the next Beethoven to have a platform to do X.
Okay.
So what's an issue that our cat once dealt with? And it kind of says here that, like, we can pick anything that may interest us from, like, past events or create unrelated goals that we wish to explore. Creating a main goal in this way automatically establishes as canon the existence of any objects, characters, or locations involved. So we can kind of just make up an issue that our cat once solved, and it's part of the story now.
Okay. I'm trying to think of, there's a pretty obvious issue that this cat would have. All them grand pianos too dang big. They need a special made piano.
Our society is not accessible enough for cats.
Yeah, they need a piano that matches them so that they can express what's in their soul.
Yeah. I think, though, the thing that we are establishing here, then, is that we have a society that is not accessible to all of its members. And that is the issue that our cat cares about.
Yes. Main goal. End xenophobia.
No, I think it is, though, like, this cat is sort of, whether it wants to be or not, an advocate for disabilities.
Okay.
For people with them, rather. This cat is not an advocate for disabling people. That would be his arch nemesis, the kneecapper.
The kneecapper.
Don't write that down. That was a joke.
Hold on. Furiously backspace. So we got, they're an advocate for disabled people. I mean, is that it? Is that our main goal?
I mean, I think the main goal would be build a more accessible world.
Make at least one goal per character, but try to shoot for 3. Does 1 be the character's main goal? Main goal's character's in-game.
So I do think we can say that, like, a secondary goal would be to become, like, the cat, like, the next Beethoven.
Okay.
I just think, like, if our main goal is supposed to be taking care of an issue that exists in the world, would that be one of our subplots?
Yeah, I guess so.
The example that they give here, I don't know if this affects anything that we want to do, but the example they give here is the Park District has the issue of the Diamante family have put our neighborhoods in a stranglehold, preventing the locally owned businesses from operating safety. Your goal could be, I need to stop the Diamante enforcers that have been harassing my father's bakery for protection money.
Okay.
I don't know that changes anything that we have set up.
I don't think so. Do we want to make a third goal, or do we want to leave that open?
I say we leave that open, for now at least.
Okay.
If something pops up that just makes sense, then maybe we put it in. But I don't know. I feel like some of these goals will be partially defined by how a whole party builds the world.
Yeah.
And so leaving one blank leaves room to make a goal that fits the world as, you know, it fits into the party.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. So then what is next?
There's a thing about questions, but I think that's just part of, like, helping you build goals.
I see.
Like, we got goals. Locate and defeat the kidnappers responsible for abducting my son. Question 1. Will I be able to find out where the villain is located before they act? Can I determine how much time I have before the villains change locations? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's helping you define the steps for your goal, but I don't think we need to necessarily... At the very least, I don't see where we would even write that on the character sheet.
Yeah, I don't think there's a spot for it.
Basically, we've set up a cat who has 2 goals. Demonstrate its excellence and be an advocate for people who don't have as much of a voice.
Yep.
Anything else this cat ends up being, also cool. You can probably put it in your superhero game just fine. You can put it in your sci-fi game just fine. Why not?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or, you know, if you just wanted to tell a slice of life story in this game that has a combat system, then why not, right?
Yeah.
All right, so our next step is rolling your stats.
To start, you will need 10d6!
And a piece of paper and a pencil.
I have none of those in front of me right now. I'm going to have to do an online dice roller.
You guys remember when Avalon used to just have his dice hot and ready on his desk at all times?
Do you want me to go get dice?
No, you can use the dice roller, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I do have 10d6 in this household. I can guarantee you that.
I mean, I've probably got a bag of D6s somewhere.
All right. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. There's D6s everywhere. They come with regular games. Who does that?
Regular games. You just said so.
Start by rolling 10d6 and tallying up the number of successes rolled. The number of successes rolled determines how many points you have to spend on the first pair of stats. Repeat this process 2 more times, then allocate your points to the stats in each pair in any order.
One moment. What determines a success?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Stats, dice pools, task checks. Here we go. Man, it says back in chapter 3 where it's talking about how to play the game that you need at least 5d6 per player. With character creation alone has challenged that.
Yeah, they do say at least.
Yeah, that's a load-bearing at least right there.
Yeah, they cannot remove those 2 words.
Let's see. When a player wishes for their character to attempt something, has a reasonable chance of failure. Task check. Roll a number of d6s equal to your total advantages, known as your dice pool, and compare successes rolled against the difficulty. What's the difficulty rating for character creation?
That is a great question. I don't think they define that in this.
Strange. Okay, here's the thing on setting difficulties. Your characters are capable individuals, but everyone has limits. So after considering what stat the player should roll, the GM should give an appropriate number to hit. The exact difficulties of specific tasks should change depending on the flavor of game. Let's see. DR1, what did that say? Stands for difficulty rating. Routine tasks that could pretty much only fail if someone tried to stop the player or if they are under duress. Difficulty rating 2, things that take a bit of concentration but are otherwise aren't hard for a trained character. DR3, anything that makes your character pause long enough to plan out how they're going to approach. DR4, really trying stuff, the things that make you question why you took this job, and the thing that makes you go, I'm the best because nobody else can do this. DR5, things that make you question your life choices in general. The near impossible and the stuff you brag about at the tavern are DR5. DR6 should never be assigned by default. That doesn't really help either.
Yeah. Maybe it says down here, stat arrays.
I just don't know what constitutes a success.
Is it just anything above like a 3? 1 through 3 is a fail, 4 through 6 is a success. But I don't want to roll. Then you don't have to. Talk with your GM first as a group, and if they agree, you may use a stat array instead. But we don't have a GM to talk to.
No, we don't. I didn't expect this to be the first hurdle of the night that, like...
Yeah, I didn't either. Rolling stats is usually, like, the easiest thing.
It's confusing because this is a system where success is defined by a conditional difficulty rating, and they don't tell us what difficulty rating to assign to the default stat roll. But it can't be... There's no way that, like, they say as long as it's not a 1, it's a success, because the default difficulty rating is, like, a 1, right?
Yeah.
That's the easy rating, where, like, you're not going to fail unless you roll a 1.
Okay, how about... Hold on. Let's make some inferences from this example they give us. Alright? Julio rolls 10d6 and gets 8 successes. On his next ones, he gets a 5 successes, and then 7 successes. At what difficulty rating do you think it would be most probable to get a higher number of successes?
That would have to be a difficulty 1 or 2.
That's what I'm saying, is it's a 1 or 2.
I feel like 1 is just too low, because again, anything other than a 1 would be a success in that situation.
Yeah.
So I feel like it has to be 2.
It's gotta be 2.
It's gotta be 2.
Okay, let's do it as 2, and...
Nick Butler, if you're listening to this, you can at me and correct me if you want.
Yeah. Please tell us what we're doing wrong.
Also, tell me what happened to Smunchy Games.
Were you involved in their downfall? Well, I have a dice roller here pulled up. I've got 10d6 lined up. We're going to roll. Anything that's a 1 to 2 is a fail. Anything that's above that is a success. That's what we're deciding, right?
Sounds good.
Here we go. That is an 8. Okay, we got 1 1 and 1 2. And then we got 3 3s, 3 6s, a 4 and a 5.
I don't know that the other numbers matter. It's just if it's a failure, if it's a 2 or a 1.
Yeah.
So that would be for our might and endurance, if we're doing that first.
Yep.
So we get 8 points to split between them, and the most we can put on one is 5.
Honestly, I would say 3 might, 5 endurance.
You think this cat's a tank?
It's not that I think it's a tank. I think it's... Well, I mean, I guess they could be a jacked piano player.
I agree. I do agree with you, is that... I think having a high might just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Whatever the logic you want to use for the endurance, nobody wants to see the cat die.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure that this is our starting dice pool for this stat, by the way.
Oh, really?
That's my understanding of it. So for might, you'd roll 3 dice. For endurance, you'd roll 5.
Sweet.
Anyway, next we're rolling for agility and focus.
See what we get. Ooh.
That's a lot more failures.
We rolled 5 successes. So far we are exactly on point with the book. So I think we did the rating correctly.
Okay. I have to agree. Let's see. Agility and focus. I kind of want to put 4 in agility, 1 in focus.
Really?
Or do you think 3 in agility, 2? Focus might be something that gets trained by being a piano player. One moment. That was back up here with the stats and whatnot.
Yeah.
Stats. Those are might, determines your ability to hit and deal damage. Endurance. Endurance determines how well you can block, how fast your recovery is, your resistance to the elements, etc. Agility determines how well you can deal with an opponent's dodge, and when you act in the initiative order.
Okay.
Focus determines your ability to dodge. Okay, that's interesting.
Wait, they both determine your ability to dodge?
No, agility is a check that you roll against your opponent's focus, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to hit someone who is trying to dodge you, you'd roll agility, they'd roll focus.
Okay.
That is interesting. That's an interesting way to do that. In that case, though, I do think our cat would have higher focus than agility.
Yes. So you want to do 2 and 3?
2 and 3 is fine, yeah.
Okay.
And then wits and intuition for the record. Wits determines your momentum generation and capacity for deceiving opponents. Intuition determines interaction discovery, which allows you to spot potential interactable objects and use them to their full potential. So wits is for social stuff, and intuition is for investigation, sort of.
Okay, something like that.
I mean, that's kind of a gross undersimplification, or oversimplification, but
yeah.
I mean, it'll get the job done for now.
Yeah. All right, let's roll our last set then. We got 5 again.
Okay. Now for this one, I think maybe it makes more sense to have high intuition than wits.
Yeah, if wits is more people talking, then...
Well, that's the example they used. Intuition is more about understanding how to navigate and use your environment, which I think for a cat that knows how to play the piano
it's got to be pretty high, right?
Yeah, I feel like if 4 is the most we can put into that at this point, I feel like we got to do it though.
Yeah.
We'll have 1 for wits, 4 for intuition.
Works for me.
Not a great spread, but it's what we got.
Yeah, we're working with what the online dice roller gives us.
I'll take it.
Yep, better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Now we got secondary stats.
Yeah, a second set of stats has hit the book. We've got power level, critical, recovery, attrition, and momentum.
Attrition and momentum will be explained in more detail in Chapter 5, but for now, power level, this number gets added to all of your other secondary stats, save for momentum and attrition, and to any attack rolls you make. Beginning characters start with +2 and get more later.
Okay.
Critical is add endurance plus focus plus power level.
Endurance is 5, focus is 3, that's 8, plus power level is 10. And you said that was critical?
That's our critical stat. If an attack rolls higher than this, treat it as if you hit twice.
Oh.
Or as if you were hit twice.
Alright.
So if you are up, you are now out. If you are down, you're dying. Basically, the critical stat, I think, is what number do you have to beat for it to count as a critical hit against you?
Okay.
So if someone rolls a 10 on you, it's a crit. That's pretty high for a starting character, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, I think the highest you could go is 12, so ours is 10.
So we're doing pretty good for ourselves.
Yeah. And by the way, that would be if there was a 5 in endurance and a 5 in focus, and then your default +2 power level.
Yep.
But anytime you boost your endurance, focus, and power level, your critical will get boosted. Recovery is might plus agility plus power level.
Our might is 3 and our agility is 2, so that's 5 plus 2 is 7.
That's our recovery. If an opponent's recovery check beats this total, they score a reversal on you.
Interesting.
So, without any, memory of how this system works, because it's been 5 years since I read this book, I think that's like a counterattack sort of deal.
Okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, attrition, when you hit, all successes rolled by your opponent are added to this pool. The current rating of attrition is added to the difficulty rating of any future recovery attempts you make. Momentum, this is a pool used to power up your special abilities or trigger a momentum shift. Unsuspecting opponent. Missing attacks or triggering specific quirks or abilities will give you points equal to your wits. Again, we don't really deal with this right now. If you need more information on it, it's in Chapter 5.
Yep. Looks like jobs and specialties is up next.
Yep. In addition to the quirks that make up who your character is, each character has a job, which is a reflection of their general skill set. This allows them to make certain types of checks that they normally would not be able to. For example, a character with a medical background could make a check to try and stitch up a bullet wound, which not anyone would be able to just do. To create your job, pick a number of tasks related to the job equal to your intuition. And our intuition is 4, right? So we need to find a job for our pianist cat. I think that's the job, actually, is pianist.
Yep.
And then we get 4 things to go on that. So, the examples they gave for their medical background was dressing wounds. So for our character, This would be a background that would potentially give you some showmanshipness, right?
Yep.
So showmanship, comfortable in crowds, or comfortable with crowds, maybe.
All right.
2 more.
Oh, I really don't know. I'm actually coming up blank here.
Same here. It would probably be safe to say this cat can read music.
Yes.
I don't know how much that'll come up in an adventure, but it's a skill we have.
Maybe it's just like Resident Evil 1 and one of the puzzles you have to solve involves a grand piano.
There you go. If this cat ever ends up in a Resident Evil type situation, they will be set.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, speaking of which, have you seen the Resident Evil 9 gameplay?
Oh
with
my
Leon?
gosh. It looks so good.
Dude still thinks he's in an action movie.
Leon Kennedy never dies.
And then you cut to the teenage girl who you're also playing as, and it's genuine first-person survival horror.
Yeah. Leon's over here acting like it's still Resident Evil 6. Jumping around, doing flips, sliding everywhere.
At 48 years old.
Is that his confirmed age? I thought he was older than that.
I think so. He's supposed to be something like 48 years old in this game.
I heard something about him like being in his mid-50s, but maybe that's...
Oh, that could be too. The last I heard was someone say 48. I guess I don't know 100%. The thing that I did hear, though, that I am pretty sure is true, or at least I'm choosing to believe is true, is that all of the women who worked at Capcom weighed in on Leon's appearance to make sure he was the hottest middle-aged man ever.
I saw that. Okay, in 2012, Resident Evil 6 came out, and he was 35 by the end of it, and it was set in 2013. Do we know what year RE9 is set?
I don't know.
Assuming it's in the 2020s, yeah, that would add another 20 years, or another 10-ish years. If it's past the 2020. So yeah, I could see him being 48, because that'd be 12 years, which would be 2025, yeah.
Leon's age is not the point. The point is he's supposed to be like the world's most attractive middle-aged white boy.
And he is. I think he's killing it at that.
Thank you, women of Capcom.
Yes, thank you, women of Capcom. God, women really out here doing it like nobody else.
Hey, hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah, hope you were able to get out, confess to your crush, get out there, buy a box of chocolates for somebody. Hopefully it was a good time.
Yeah, we are in the past right now. Valentine's Day has not actually happened for us yet. I am betting I will not have anyone for Valentine's Day this year, but there's still time, I guess.
You got time. The future is not set in stone, Joel.
Yeah, and I did like one post on, what was it, TikTok, where someone said, like this post and a goth girl will find you by Valentine's Day. So, it's probably not gonna happen, but...
No, you liked a video on TikTok. It's gotta work.
Exactly. That's exactly how it works, right?
Yeah. Manifest your reality. But no, we're not here to talk about some corporate holiday like Valentine's Day. We're here to talk about the show.
Yeah. What about the show?
Specifically, where you can find the show / learn more about it. You can find us on the internet at badgertrove.com/literalcatpod. You'll get some fun links over there. We have links to our socials, links to episodes. We have our email up there, which, by the way, is literalcatpod@gmail.com. But yeah, if you want to know more about the show or anything like that, go check out that website.
Yeah. You'll also get links to our social medias when you go to badgertrove.com/literalcatpod. But if you're too lazy to go there and click a link, then it's just Literal Cat Pod on Tumblr, Blue Sky, YouTube. I'm actually thinking of deleting TikTok right now. Closing the accounts and deleting it. The new terms of service, I'm not sure how I feel about them.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out, though. Anyway, we will be on Blue Sky, though, and we will be on Tumblr.
Yeah, you can get all your updates over there.
Exactly.
If you have something to say about the show that you want us to know, feel free to rate and review us. There's some amount of time left that we will see it, and then, probably not check it regularly. But if you got something you want to say, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good stuff. I did notice, I think this was the other day I was looking at this. Yeah, we did get more ratings on Spotify.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we went from, I think, 2 or 3 to 5 ratings, and we still have a 5-star rating.
We did, in fact.
Yeah. I noticed that last time, but forgot to mention it, so, yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to find us on, there's the Apple Podcast page. Why is it on a different language?
Interesting.
Let's see, looks like we're still sitting at 3 reviews there.
Mm.
Still 5 stars, though.
That's a W, we take that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, thank you for the extra reviews. You know, it is nice to see, you know, even if we are going to be ending, it's not stopping you from being nice to us and getting us pushed in the algorithm. That is a plus.
Yeah, and we do really appreciate it, you know, because the hiatus is still indefinite. So who knows, maybe we get like 1,000 positive ratings and we're like, well, now we can't stop.
I don't think so. I don't think that's even a safe thing to put out there. Like,
probably not.
Guys, if you get us 1,000 ratings, do not assume that will save the show. At this point, the thing that will save the show is me coming up with a way to make it fresh and fun again. But don't let that stop you from following us on Discord, because once we stop this, I am betting that there is something else that we will pick up. I have been getting into video editing and streaming, obviously. Avalon has some other stuff they want to... What was the other thing you were telling me you wanted to try out, like, when you had the time?
I want to do more YouTube stuff, like also try my hand at video editing, but I think I'm going to dedicate more time to art this year, if I can.
There you go. It would be good to do that too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, like, we're not gonna stop making stuff, and we're probably not gonna stop making stuff together, so we're still gonna be using Badger Trail, so you can still join the Discord and get some benefits from it, even if they're not cat-related.
True.
They might be tabletop RPG-related.
Also true. If Joel and I get working on one of the games that we've drummed up in our heads, then we might need some playtesters.
Yeah. I am really hoping to actually wrap up the Great Springfield Cheese Heist this fall. I've been letting that sit as just a rough draft on itch for, 2 years now? I gotta actually get a full game out. It's supposed to be a one-shot. It's not supposed to be this hard to find time to do it.
Sometimes life just gets in the way, man.
You got that right. If people want to see your potential YouTube videos and or art, where should they look for you?
I will mostly be posting art on Blue Sky, and that is Avalon Alchemist. I do still plan on streaming again at some point this year, so if you want to check that out, go check out twitch.tv/Avalon Alchemist, and then if I do end up getting the YouTube channel set up, there will be a link on my socials in the future.
Cool.
What about you?
I can be found on Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitch, and YouTube at OMAMRVT. Also TikTok, but again, might delete that. We'll see. The VT, of course, stands for VTuber. I am using a digital avatar that I puppeteer. It looks like a giant ball of sludge. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I put out videos on my YouTube channel as well. Some of them are about tabletop RPGs.
True. And a lot of them are really good.
Thank you. Anyway, I think... Is that everything? I think that's everything.
I think that's it, yeah.
All right, let's get you back to your episode.
Adios. We need one more thing that a musical cat can do.
Crowd work. No, okay, maybe not, because we've already got comfort with crowds.
Yeah. He can find...
Star appeal.
Star appeal. Ooh, that's good.
This cat just gives off the vibes of someone who is famous.
Because he is famous. He's gonna be famous.
Yeah.
He's famous in his local community already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would go down to basically any venue to watch a cat play Beethoven.
I wouldn't even care how good the cat is at playing Beethoven. If they were like, he can kind of do it, I'd be like, I'm there. What do you mean?
Exactly.
He plays the first 4 notes, I'd give him a standing ovation.
Oh yeah, this cat's just down at the local pub playing Megalovania, no big deal. I'm sorry, what's the name of that pub?
The Under Trough. Yeah, we actually taught this cat how to play Rush E, but he's too good at it. He set the last piano on fire playing too fast. Alright, so we have our job.
Yep, we need a quirk now.
Wait, I just found the biggest sentence for us specifically in this book.
Okay.
It says, the default assumption in Tiebreaker is that your character is a humanoid of some sort. 2 sets of 2 limbs connected to a torso with a head on the top, However, that doesn't mean you're human. Whatever the reason be it special training, genetics, super science, being obscenely rich, etc., you're different.
Okay, we're still not humanoid even, is the thing. We are a literal cat.
We are a literal cat, but
So we don't have the two sets of limbs connected to the torso with the head. Well, I mean, kinda, but they're all the same. They're all legs, no arms.
Yeah. So I guess it's one set of 4 limbs instead of 2 sets of 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. All it says is, however, that doesn't mean you're human, which I think in my book saves us.
I feel like we have to count it as a rule broken.
Yeah, we probably do.
But you know what? I would be willing to bet that's as many rules as we break.
Probably.
The fact that there's even one on a generic system means that it's more defined than other generic systems that we look at. So honestly, good on you, Tidebreaker. You know what kind of stories you want to tell.
Yeah.
And you're not lying about it. You're not saying, hey, you can tell literally any type of story. Speaking of which, did you see Jeff Stormer's thing about, like, the counterpoint to basically any, like, oh yeah, this is a game with barely any rules. You can kind of just do whatever you want. Where he comes in, he's like, well, can I play Sonic the Hedgehog in it? And, if the answer is no, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're the read if you haven't read it.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so we're on to quirks now?
Yes, correct. What makes you different?
Oh, so many
You're
things.
different. These differences are covered by quirks. Quirks are the things about your character that define who they are in fiction. At the table, these are the things that happen in the background and support your more active abilities and jobs. These are the things that define exactly that mole man assassin who burrows under the castle defenses to close in on their prey, or the futuristic mercenary with a jetpack rocket launcher. Quirks cover everything from the physical to the supernatural and everything in between, as long as it's not something directly involving shooting something out of your hands or crushing a bad guy in between your fingers. It's likely a quirk. Characters in Tidebreaker start with 3 quirks. Now, those first 3 picks aren't exactly unique to just you. Your GM is going to also use them to define the rest of your faction. Factions may represent anything categorized by species, political affiliation, martial arts, etc. The upside is that unlike those guys, you've got an extra quirk that's truly unique to you and you alone. So we could be part of a league of musicians, but we're the only literal cat.
Makes sense.
Or a league of literal cats, but we're the only musician. Or something else that sets us apart, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. So we need to pick our 3 quirks, and we have a very long list of them here.
Oh, yeah, we do. There are so many quirks. There are like... One moment.
There's like at least 9 pages of them.
I think I've just hit page 10 of quirks. Let's see, they start on page 73 and end on page 84. I think that's 11 pages of quirks.
11 pages of quirks?
No, I forgot 85. That's 12 pages of quirks.
That's too many.
It's a lot. But let's see, once we get down to page, 78, everything past that point where it says standout only are standout only.
Okay.
So those are maybe we should pick our special one. Actually, first off, what do we want our faction to be? Because we have 2 options, which are like the musician faction or the literal cat faction. Which do you think is more important?
If we want this character to be the next Beethoven, I think it's more important that they are musical than it is they're a cat.
All right. But do you think that's the faction they belong to, or is that the thing that sets them apart from it?
I think they should belong to a musical faction of some sort.
Okay. And they're the only cat within that faction of musicians.
Correct. Oh!
Oh?
Maybe it's a group of all literal animals that this one person is trying to teach to play various instruments, and this cat is like obsessed with the piano. So
we're all minions of the Pied Piper?
Yeah, sure.
I'm into it. Don't get me wrong.
So I don't know. Maybe being a literal cat isn't the thing that sets them apart. Maybe it's. I guess we'd have to look at the standouts.
I'm looking through them right now. There's one that's literally just John Wick.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm sure you can see there.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga, you are a living legend amongst your enemies. Whenever you fight a group of stooges, they are always considered overextended. Let's see, we've got Ambassador of the Muse. When you tell a story or sing to a willing audience, you may spend 1 hope to temporarily increase the attitude of all members of your audience to friendly.
Oh.
So that's a potential good one for a musician.
Yeah.
But if we're a part of the musician faction, then that it would be hard to argue that's our standout feature.
Yeah.
Avatar of Terror. You may spend momentum equal to the combined power of all your named characters' presence. You have no cap while doing so, to cause all present to rise up, reduce all pools to 0, and instantly move allied characters to you and move opponents 3 zones away.
Oh?
I'm gonna say no to that one.
Fair enough.
Badass normal. In a world of incredible heroics and monstrous villains, you are overwhelmingly average. So like if you want to play as Robin from Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal pragmatists. When you use an emergency defense action, you do not need to spend momentum. Blinding footwork. Whenever you attack someone in melee and move away, you may cause a momentum shift against your target as part of your attack without paying the cost. Calculated assault. While using an extended action, you may spend 5 momentum to use another action without releasing your action. Catastrophe beacon. When the target of one of your abilities checks for a botch, they re-roll their 2 highest successes before checking, ignoring any new successes. Celestial wrath. Once per combat, you may spend hope at the beginning of your turn to remove your momentum cap. And at any point as an interrupt, you may spend all of your momentum, after paying for the interrupt, to immediately deal attrition to the target. Chosen wielder. You start off with a level 1 artifact with the Oathkeeper limiter and Hope Source. Collected. You may spend 1 hope in a full round to compose yourself, ignoring any effects that may target you. Other than the Ambassador of the Muse, I've not seen anything yet. Colossal Strength. You may spend a charge from any of your banked abilities to give target function on contact. If you miss this attack, you may apply this function as if it hit normally. Compassionate Guardian. You may spend hope equal to the combined total power level of all opponents present to prevent any damage they would do to a number of allies equal to your power level until the end of the following round.
Yeah, I'm looking through a lot of these. I have no idea.
What's Fearless Tiger? If you hit an enemy with a downshift effect, you may spend 5 momentum to add your initiative rank counted down to your attack. If this would be enough to critical them, you may downshift them again. If you corner your enemy with this effect, they are momentum shifted against you and your allies' attacks until the end of your next turn. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good combat ability, and it's named Tiger, which is kind of a cat. We'd just be a cat who punches above his weight class by a few degrees.
This cat has let all the success go to his head, and he thinks he's crazy at everything.
Oh, here's a fun one. Obfuscating Stupidity. You botch on all actions. When you would fail on an action due to a botch, you may bank all failures rolled up to an amount equal to your wits and add them to your next check as bonus successes. You may continue to bank successes over multiple turns until you hit this cap. When you spend your bonus successes, you become immune to botches, and an amount of dice equal to your bonus successes gain Ignite. So this is a cat who looks like a clumsy failure, but is actually just banking his luck.
I could see that. Maybe that's part of his bit. He,
maybe
makes people think that he's aloof, and then he gets up there and he's like, joke's on you guys. I'm crazy good. Yeah, there's not really anything else on this list that I've seen that's, really popping out to me.
I still think probably the thing to do is Ambassador of the Muse. We are a musically inclined cat, and even if we are among other musically inclined cats, we are better at being musically inclined. We're the standout musically inclined animal.
Yeah, I believe it. And then we just need to pick our regular quirks, which we need 3.
And we pull these from the rest of the list. I see Adorable here. This is probably good for a bunch of animals. Your allies gain momentum equal to your wits when you are taken down. In diplomatic situations, you are always treated as a friend until proven otherwise. Our wits is not high, no, it's only a 1, right?
Our wits, is 1.
I still think it's the way to go.
I think so too, just because it makes sense for a cat.
Yeah, it's 1 momentum, and the secondary effect, where you are always treated as a friend until proven otherwise.
That can come in huge.
Yeah, even if it's only a 1-point bonus to everyone else, I think it's the way to go.
I think so too, yeah.
Alright, now we just need to pick 2 more. Let's see, Comforter might be good. At the end of any scene, if your party has unspent momentum, you may convert 5 points of momentum for 1 hope each. If there's any unspent momentum afterwards, it's lost as normal.
Okay, I think that's good.
And once per session, you can treat yourself as a beacon of hope for your current neighborhood.
That is another thing. I know I saw the Beacon of Hope thing somewhere, but I can't remember where.
Yeah, I think the important thing is this is a thing that we've established with other cats, right? Is like their presence is a comfort. So in this case, it would be if there's any momentum left over after a battle, which is what you build up to do cool stuff, but you lose it at the end of the fight, it sounds like it gets converted to hope instead.
I like that. Let's do it. Okay, and one more. Una mas.
But there's one called Glory Bound. What's this? You gain momentum equal to the total power level of all elite or higher opponents that share a zone with you at the start of the turn. Whenever you lead a group in negotiations or battle, friendly or higher followers treat you as a subplot as long as you continue to push blindly forward in the name of glory. Okay, maybe not. Like, that's glory in battle. I was thinking like glory on the stage. Ooh, harmonious might be good. Whenever you use a movement or defense function against an opponent, this includes when you are targeted while using a defense, you may choose to downshift or upshift them or yourself as part of the action. If this would cause your opponent to become overextended or cornered, you gain a momentum equal to your power level. So that's more like martial arts harmony, like in harmony with your surroundings.
Yeah, that's cool.
So maybe not quite so much the like stage presence I was thinking.
Inspirational could be stage presence. Whenever you spend a turn to monologue in combat, your allies gain momentum equal to your wits plus power level. But we don't have good wits, so I don't know if that's good for us to take.
No, we can't do two things that rely on wits when we don't have wits.
Yeah. Oh, Keen Eye could be good.
Keen Eye.
Yeah, your rules for pinpointing a fear, uncovering a secret, or gathering evidence all gain Ignite 1. Additionally, whenever you use your perception to create a resource for an individual, its value is raised by your power level for that character only.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I like that.
Okay, let's make that our number 3.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those abilities that's like, this is general use case, can be good in lots of different situations.
Yeah, our perception's tied to our intuition anyway, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, then yeah, that's really good because we have intuition's our second highest stat.
Yeah. All right, cool. I guess we keep going down past here, since this is all technically in order, right?
I think so, yeah.
Ability generation. Each character in Tidebreaker starts with 3 abilities that they may improve over the course of a campaign. An ability is not a narrow focus, but a broad generalization of power that the character can use. They are the many avenues your character may walk down on their path to victory in battle. Okay. Create an ability. 1. Give the ability a name that describes its purpose. 2.
Okay.
Describe how it should work. Your character's abilities are primarily a way of either actively setting up, enduring, or delivering an attack in battle. If you are unsure about your idea will work as an ability, ask yourself, is this something I need to focus on to use, or can this work without my direct input?
Things that don't need your direct input are more likely to be quirks.
Okay.
Then we pick 2 functions that establish the core of your ability or more depending on the power level of the campaign. So, using an ability works the same as any other action in the game. Describe that you are using your ability and resolve any rolls as normal, and apply all of your ability's functions as necessary. So you can add multiple functions, but it seems like you don't have to use them all every time you use an ability.
Yeah, so like, it's a general category, and then you can use that category for specific things, I guess.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
And then the functions start on page 88. So we just kind of need to decide what we're doing first, and then... Alright, there's a function that I see down here called Pounce. So I feel like we need one, like, attack ability.
Yeah.
Because Pounce basically can work like a sneak attack as long as someone can't... If your opponent is suffering from an effect that causes them to be unable to target you, your attack becomes a surprise attack and gains Ignite 1.
Okay. These are just abilities, right?
Yeah, so we need to name... I feel like it should just... This has got to be like our cat attacks, right?
Yeah. Cat attacks?
Yeah.
Is that just what you want to call it?
Sure, why not? I feel like we gotta have at least one that's just like, this is what a cat would do if it was fighting you, right?
Yeah.
And a cat would pounce on you.
True.
So describe how it should work. So what we're describing is like, our cat has some natural combat ability.
Okay.
Our ability to fight without a weapon. So the function would be pounce, and then we'd add one other one potentially.
Okay, so those are functions then.
Yeah. At least that's how I think it works. So functions, we got offense, defense, utility, and movement. We've been looking at the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are functions. Okay. I was right. I thought I understood that, but I'm sure I understand it now.
Okay, yeah. Pick 2 functions to establish the core of your ability or more depending on the power level. Okay, got it. So we have Pounce, and then...
I see 2 potential options, I think. First off, disengaging. You may forego dealing damage this turn to add the difficulty rating of any cover you're using to a surprise attack on your next turn.
Okay.
If you are unable to initiate a surprise attack, this function adds the difficulty rating of any cover you're using as bonus successes to create a secret my position until the end of your next turn. It would be kind of a get in, get out move. Like if we have the ability to get someone when they are unable to fight back, then it'll count as a sneak attack. And if we can't sneak attack, then we get behind, or like even if we can sneak attack, we will be able to pass up on doing damage to get behind cover instead.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then take the bonus the next turn. So that's one option. There was one other one I saw. Exhausting. On contact, your opponent's next attack may only deal damage on a critical hit. On dodge, opponents must re-roll and botch their initiative on the following turn. See, this is the one I think we should actually do.
Yeah, that's really good.
I feel like the cover thing would make more sense for a different move, but it would be a fun, like, get in, get out kind of situation where you can opt not to do damage in order to, like, immediately save yourself.
Yeah.
But the exhausting thing, it kind of saves you from immediate retaliation either way.
Yeah. You could go in, make a couple attacks, and just be like, now hold up.
Yep. Now, I think the critical effect would apply one way or another. So if you get critted, then it's still going to be as bad. But it's like if you hit, then you're kind of safe from retaliation unless they are really locked in. On dodge, then you've thrown them off balance, basically. Mm-hmm. You force them to botch their next initiative. Yeah, I think we go pounce and exhausting.
All right. I totally agree.
Then I think we need to have one that's like bardic inspiration.
Yes.
If we have a piano that we can play in the middle of battle somehow, like whatever convoluted logic you want to use for that, this might be... One moment. What are the four categories again? We've got defense, utility, and... This is probably a utility thing. Anything related to increasing your ability to attack and defend or hamper your opponent's ability to do so.
Okay.
So we need to look... I think we need to go down to utility, and we need to look for effects that would give us, like, the ability to boost our allies.
Okay.
Awaken, let's see, pick 2. Your target gains +1 power level on every turn. Your target is treated as if one zone closer to their targets. Your target may upshift or downshift themselves as an interrupt. On dodge, your target's attacks cause their opponents to pay 5 momentum or become cornered. Or on contact, your target's attacks may deal attrition equal to their successes instead of dealing damage. Your target gains the chosen effects for a number of turns equal to your power level. You may pick Awaken twice. If you do, you may affect a number of targets in range equal to your power for a number of turns equal to your power level. So Awaken is one that lets us pick a target and give the benefit to them.
I like that. Do we want to put that as one of our functions, though?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So which two are we picking? Or do we pick, like, every time?
I think it's you pick every time.
Okay. It sounds like, though, if we could put Awaken twice, so we can have Awaken as both of our functions for this one ability. But before we do that, I think we should look at some other things.
Yeah, let's take a quick look here.
Let's see. Boon. You may allow an ally to apply any function attached to Boon's ability to their attacks for a number of turns equal to your power level. If you spend 10 momentum, you may apply Boon to all allies in range. That would be good if it weren't for the fact that we're already applying our effect to someone else.
Yeah.
Ooh, coordinate maybe. You may upshift or downshift the target ally a number of ranks equal to your power level.
Okay.
So when we pick our target ally, they also get the additional upshift or downshift.
I think that's a good combo, yeah.
Yep, I thought so too. There's a heal ability.
I saw that.
Grant a bonus to an ally's recovery or a first aid equal to might or intuition. We do have good intuition.
Yep.
I don't think that makes as much sense for our bardic inspiration thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, are we a healer or are we just an inspirer?
Infuse. Your target gains a number of charges equal to the amount of successes rolled that they may use for any of their bank abilities. Infuse might also be good. Mm-hmm. But I kind of think that Coordinate, Awaken and Coordinate are probably our things.
I'm down with that.
I think we can mix and match too. So I think, what if we made like a defense and movement ability? Avoid damage by blocking, dodging, or counterattacking. Anything related to your ability to get around or disable others' ability to get around. I feel like we could make just like a big like thing about our cat's like agility, not in the game's terms of agility, but in terms of like an actual cat's like agility based on their ability to like avoid damage by making a defense and movement ability.
I like that. Yeah.
So cat-like reflexes maybe would be the name of that.
Love
Which
that.
I know we are actually a cat, so
So should we just call it cat reflexes
I guess.
instead of cat-like?
I guess you could. We probably should.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
So, defense, we've already looked at quite a few,
Well, we looked at mostly utility earlier.
yeah.
And we looked at basically all of the offense ones when we were building our offense ability.
Yeah.
I'm going to look through defense if you're going to look through movement.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Analyze. You may roll intuition against an opponent's wits and choose an ability slot. A, B, or C. You may add your intuition to your difficulty rating against attacks using the chosen ability until the end of your next turn. Choose a different ability if you fail this check. The chosen ability gains Ignite 1 until the end of your next turn. Analyze may be used as an interrupt upon an opponent declaring an attack. If you are hit while interrupting an opponent, the opponent's chosen ability grants Ignite 1 this turn.
Okay.
So basically we're using our wits, which I think our wits are low, aren't they? No, we're rolling our intuition against our opponent's wits.
Correct. And our intuition is high. So that would be good for us.
Yeah, so basically this would be our ability to like assess the situation in real time and see what we could what would benefit us.
Okay. What did you say that one was again?
I don't know that that's what I want to do. It was just the first thing I saw pop up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking down here. Fleet sounds like it could be a good movement option. Your movement increases by 1 zone, allowing you to travel 2 zones normally and 3 while dashing. Fleet may be picked up twice. If you do, you may increase the distance you may move by 1 per 5 momentum you spend. Adventure, I guess this is while you're out adventuring. You may increase the speed by a number of targets equal to your power level by 1 stage. If this would push speed beyond tier 4, you may teleport instantaneously to target location at a distance of... Okay.
Nothing personnel, kiddo.
Yeah, for real. Instant transmission.
I do like a lot of the defense ones because a lot of them do rely on intuition.
Yeah.
Let's see. You may roll intuition against an opponent's wits and choose an ability, A, B, or C, until the end of the next turn. Targets that hit you with the ability in the chosen slot trigger an immediate counterattack. Failing in the initial check allows the unchosen abilities to ignite. Discourage may be used as an interrupt upon an opponent declaring an attack. If you are hit while interrupting an opponent, the opponent's chosen ability explodes this turn.
Oh, whoa.
Which I think is good for your opponent. But the point is that, like, discouraging, this is the discourage move. So you basically discourage them from using their ability, but if they do good with the ability, it's better.
All right.
But wait, that only triggers if you use this as an interrupt. So, like, if you use your action as soon as your opponent declares their attack, then basically it only works if they block the interrupt.
Okay.
But we'd need to pair that with a movement ability that would actually make sense for discouraging attacks, and I feel like that's going to be hard to do.
Well, I found kiting. When you move this turn, you may upshift a number of targets up to your power level that move into your zone. If you overextend a target, you and all of your allies gain 1 ignite against that target until the end of your next turn.
Okay, wait,
You can also use this outside of combat to restore hope.
There was something I saw earlier. So that sounds like it would be better, that would work more the more enemies there are around you, right?
Yeah.
There's an ability in defense, there's a function called Defiant. You may add the number of enemies in your current zone as a bonus to your difficulty rating. So the more enemies there are around you, the harder you are to hit.
That makes sense too, because when, if you have multiple people reaching for the same small object, they're gonna get in the way of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Let's pair Defiant and Kiting.
Okay. Heck yeah. That's awesome. I love that for us.
That is awesome.
All right. So we have our 3 abilities. We have Cat Attacks, Bardic Inspiration, and Cat Reflexes.
Yep.
Yes, let's see what's up next on our list.
Next, they've got the Character Ability Idea Generator. If you're stuck.
Yeah.
These are for weapons, martial arts, superpowers, substance. It's like if you've got like an acid power or something.
Okay.
I think most of ours would probably fall under traits. Oh, they had a random table for ability generation.
Oh, dang.
Oh, well, we already did the work.
Yep. Oh, wait. These last 2 steps say optional.
Let's see. Optional vignettes, how to properly introduce the cast. We can't do that one. personal themes. As an additional step to character generation, you may add a personal theme, a single word or phrase that describes the kind of story beats that tend to revolve around your character.
Okay. I guess do we want to make a personal theme?
I mean, it sounds pretty easy. It's just like one word, right?
Yeah, for real. How hard could it be?
There's 3 additional mechanics tied to this. Your personal theme allows all of your job's heroic tasks to be considered a specialty whenever you use the self-sabotage option to add a complication in relation to upholding your personal theme's ideals.
Okay.
Interjects, a mechanic that allows your fellow players to make a request related to your personal theme in order to steer the current scene in a more interesting direction once per session. And you gain a tragic flaw. This allows players to make a request based on your flaw once per session that you cannot refuse.
Oh, there's not a spot on the character sheet for a personal theme, but there is an entire page of notes, so I can just put it there.
Yeah, that works. Let's see, this is a cat who is born for the stage, right? They're the next Beethoven.
Yeah.
And I think one of our job things is like showmanship, right? So like whenever we have an opportunity to be a showman, that's already like kind of in our wheelhouse.
Yep. I guess our theme would be extravagance. Maybe not the exact word I'm looking for.
I'm trying to think of something like, it's hard to fit in one word, like, our primary goal is like the pursuit of fame, right?
Yeah.
Maybe our theme is fame.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. That's simple, straight to the point.
So interjects allow your fellow players to make requests related to your personal theme in order to steer the current scene. And okay, so we already know what our theme is, right?
Yep.
Tragic flaw. So now we need to decide a flaw based on a theme of fame or seeking fame. What's our flaw?
Never truly known.
I don't know.
That seems a bit too deep.
The point of the flaw is it allows other players to make a request based on your flaw once per session that you cannot refuse. Keep it heroic still applies here, but heroic resolve does not. This flaw is normally a character trait like rage, but can be as varied or vague as you like. So something like vanity?
Yeah, that would work.
I mean, that tends to go hand in hand with the kind of people who seek fame.
Yeah, I like that too, because there's a lot of things that can feed into vanity, you know. There's a lot of different ways you can take that flaw.
It could also be something really super specific, like cannot resist playing video games instead of working.
Yo, they put me in this book?
For real.
Well, do you want to go with vanity, or do you want to...
Vanity's fine, I think. Like,
okay.
Basically, anytime someone else in the party wants to indulge our vanity, we cannot resist whatever they want us to do.
Yep.
That could lead to a lot of situations, so...
Alright, we have our quick checklist for character generation.
We don't have a name yet. We have a concept, but not a name.
Correct. Then we have a main goal, basic and secondary stats. We have those. A job, including its task and specialty. We have those. 3 quirks and a standout feature. We have those. 3 abilities with 2 function each. We have those. So yeah, we just need a name and pronouns.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll need to fill in the appearance.
Yeah. What is a good name?
Is this a boy or a girl, Cat? If it's a boy, we could literally just name it Ludwig.
We could. I'm down for that. You want to name him Ludwig?
Yeah, his owners knew he was going to be the next Beethoven.
Known as just super obsessed with classical music.
Yeah.
He's got a dog named Wolfgang.
Nah, you know what it is? When he was in the womb, you know how there are people who will play, like, classical music for babies in the womb?
Yeah.
Someone hooked their cat up to the iPod and did that. Literally born with an appreciation.
Born with a taste for the classics. Appearance. What does cat look like?
Let's see. I want to say a gray cat. Either a black or a gray cat.
I like gray. What cat do you think is the most destined for fame?
Let's see.
Maybe we could just do like a British short hair or something.
Maybe. Is there a Germany-specific cat breed?
I don't think so.
Because Ludwig van Beethoven is from Germany.
Yeah. I
guess there's the German Rex. It's kind of gray.
The German Rex? Is that a cat breed?
Yeah, they're kind of thin little guys, but...
Big ol' eyes! Yo!
Oh, they come in all kinds of colors.
Yeah, jeez. Whoa.
I think we could say, though, just like a dark gray German Rex who has large owl-like eyes.
Okay.
Which would not be inaccurate. A lot of these guys, they are thin little cats, and they have these big eyes that do not make sense for their faces.
They look like bug eyes. Literally look at like the first picture that shows up of a German Rex.
Yeah, for real. It is a bug-eyed little guy.
That has to be digitally altered. There's no way those are his real eyes. I'm just like, it's gotta be. But then you look at the rest of them too, and their faces are so small compared to their eyes. All right, is that it? Have we made a character?
I think we've made a character.
Good old Ludwig.
Good old Ludwig. So we do have the one broken rule, the fact that we are not a guy with a set of 2 legs and a set of 2 arms with a head attached to the top of the torso. We got 4 legs instead. One set of 4 legs. Our bad. But that's the only rule we broke.
You know what?
What?
We'll take that.
We will take that. You know what else I will take, Avalon?
What's that?
A cat pun.
All right. What is a cat's favorite early 2000s girl group?
The Spice Girls?
Very close. It's the Mice Girls.
Oh. All right. Thank you for listening, everyone.